Continuing along with Nvidia on the same chart, I've taken the time measurements off, but I've left the arrows marking the pivot points in that higher octave. I left the angles mentioned, and I added an angle up here off of this prior high. And notice the number I used and remember where that number came from. Now I'm going to show another technique. I'm going to add an angle technique on top of this particular pair that I've already shown. Now I've added a few more angles on this chart. I don't want to do too many, and I'm not going to tell you what I did because it should be fairly obvious. If you take a look on a daily chart of Nvidia in this time period, you'll be able to see how I derived the numbers for these angles. And what I want you to do is take a look at how the price action responded when it came to these particular angles. Starting on the left of the chart, the angle off of that high, the first time it was hit caused a good reaction for about a week. Then it became support here and here for a little bit before it closed and broke down through that. This next angle here was support first time it was hit. Support first time it was hit at price, just like the upper angle. Angle hit at price right at the fa tone of the upper octave. So then this angle was hit first time. First time a key angle is hit, it's always going to throw the market back. It may run up 3, 4, 5 times and hit and continue on, but the first hit is usually guaranteed to fire off a good reaction. This one happened to break the second time it was hit. But what happened when it broke and when the price finally came back to that angle here at the fa tone again, it fired the market back. It did actually go up to the so tone, but the very next day it reverted back and fired down off of that. This upper angle off of this high, you can see what number I used there. That caught this pair of tops that fired back twice, and then it became an area of consolidation around that angle, which I like to call that gravity center type of thing. And you can see what happened by that angle. It went above that angle the same amount as it went down, and when it got stretched a little farther here and hit the upper angle coming up, we had a little bit more movement off of that angle, and we had a similar movement to the downside of that angle before we had that gap up in penetration of that angle. These other two angles here, this one, first one off the low, we had support here, and then it broke. And then the lower angle was only approached here these two times, and that angle was critical support and fired the market right back up into the bull trend after that. Taking an angle off of this high, that became an area of resistance here. Then it broke and became an area of support here. 3 times. It broke the 4th time, but only for a couple days, and then headed back up. So take a close look at those angles and go look at the chart. Look at the angle placement, where they were placed from, and you'll see how to do these angles. And this is going to give you tradable angles in this particular stock. The same technique will work on any stock or commodity. One more angle off of this low here. This angle here moving up caught the high at this price level. And then again, this important top as well, right around the fa tone where the other angle was in the neighborhood. So those are key angles. Strongly recommend you check out how those angles were done. Everything you need to know is on the chart to be able to replicate this and to use it in real time.